This Festivus episode of GameByte is brought to you by our promo code for Jinx.com. Yes! Spend Christmas Eve shopping because you forgot to do it over the past few weeks. But when you do, use the promo code QuitStalling_366 to save yourself 10% off of all your gamer and geek swag. Yes, use the promo code QuitStalling_366 when you go shopping for that loved one right now, because it's almost time for Christmas. Ladies and gentlemen, as my beard is overflowing over my pop filter, this is GameByte QuitSmas edition. Yes, this is the 77th episode of GameByte. That is me, I am your host. I am Harold Silvestre, welcoming you, not to my tavern or my inn because Mick isn't here, but welcoming you to this very special episode of GameByte. We've made it through 77 episodes over the past 2 years, and I can't be prouder of us. All right, welcome everyone. Yes, GameByte. GameByte is the show. It's the podcast where we talk about the merriest of winter gaming news. All right, here on the QuitSmas edition of GameByte. This is our weekly podcast here on the QuitStalling Media Network, where we talk about all things video gaming. And with me today, he's been with me for the past 2 years on GameByte since it spun off of the QuitStalling podcast. He is known as InstaDZ himself, or the Jack Black of Winter Wonderland Overwatch. It's Diego Z. How you doing, DZ?
I'm doing great. It's now that we've had like the starting soon portion or the pre-show, it's kind of hard for me to say anything right now since we've kind of massaged everyone's ears already about this. So yeah, what's up everyone? Thanks again for joining. So I can't wait to get the show started. How about you, Harold? How have you been?
Dude, I've been doing good. All right, I'm loving the season right now. The traffic has been insane. I could actually read an article before I move on the highway. I can get through a couple of gaming bits before I move on the highway. It's been insane, man. It is that time of the year. Your face is enormous right now on screen. I'm gonna try and normalize that a little bit. But
normalize.
DZ, it's great to see you, man. I saw you last night because we did host our usual QuitStalling Overwatch Scrim night. And as per usual, it was ridiculously fun. We had JM Sorbetes here. And as usual, man, everyone turned up and it was great. We had folks in the chat like NeoGear participating. We had people like Human Panda enjoying the Pew Pew and the QQ, of course, as is normal. Oh man, we saw some of the best plays we've ever seen in a Winter Wonderland. So congratulations to everyone and thank you everyone for playing last night, and congratulations to all the winners of our loot boxes and Pachimari socks. Pachimari's up.
Everyone was going crazy for this. I think everyone wanted socks more than loot boxes. Come to think of it.
I think we could have saved ourselves a lot of money and just get raffled off the Pachimari socks.
Yeah. What did we give away? We gave 5 sets of 2 loot boxes and a grand prize of 5.
I think it was one winner got 5 loot boxes.
Yeah, of course, and Pachimari socks. Can't forget
and
the
Pachimari.
Definitely.
Hey. Oh man, good stuff, everyone. All right, DZ, you and I, at the start of every show, what we do is we talk about what we've been playing in the past week. But you know what? It is QuitSmas, and I want to ask you, Diego Zuluaga, you InstaDZ himself, the Jack Black of Winter Wonderland. What are your most memorable games of the year?
God of War. Well, I didn't even have to think twice about that. Okay, yeah. Yeah, of course. Okay, how many? Okay, do you want to do kind of a list thing right now? I can give 3.
Go for it. Just give me all the ones that you remember fondly from 2018, brother.
Okay. All right. So let's start off with. Okay, this is kind of a dumb answer. but I'm gonna say Overwatch. And like,
How
here's
is that
why.
dumb? You can't
Because
go
here-
wrong with Overwatch.
It's because dumb in the sense that okay, not okay. Let's lack of a better term. Sorry, let's not go with dumb. It's more of like it's. I'm not saying it's. Don't consider it as the cop out answer. It's more of that. Yeah, it's not the kind of answer like, oh, of course you're gonna say Overwatch. Like, but there's like a real good reason why. Is because I've been thinking over the past years that the past 2 years has been out. Like, despite all the stuff that's been going on with it, like the whole dead game thing and how things haven't really the community is kind of divided in like if it's still a dead game or if it's still a game that's good. Here's my reasoning as to why even till now, despite all the Doomfists and Briggs that are coming out, all the lack of new content, aside from there is new characters, sure, but there's nothing new significantly with the game, is that this is the one game that where I have felt the most anger, the most joy, the most hatred for things, or all emotions of my emotions that I could feel have been felt, whether it be sadness, something happiness, anger, salt, if you want to call salt an emotion. This is the game where we're starting to do shoutcasting and which has been a lot of fun. This is the one game where all my friends, like my high school barkada, have been playing together, and that doesn't happen very often. So and like the last game that me and all my friends played together was Battlefield 2, and how many years ago was that, right? So this Overwatch was that. This is the year of Overwatch League. This is the year I got to watch Overwatch League live. And this is the year I got to get a Mayhem's jersey. And yeah, Overwatch is, it's like what I like about it is what I like it is a bit more than I can't believe you're actually following me with it. This is the year that Overwatch has had a lot of impact on my life. And that's I'm not even talking about gameplay, okay? Just Overwatch in itself, because gameplay is another thing. Yeah, so that's for Overwatch. What else? Let's go with God of War. Again, God of War is one of my favorite franchises ever. I've played the first one ever since it came out on the PlayStation 2 back in 10 years ago, I think.
Yikes! Wow, it's been that long.
Yeah, probably even longer. And again, the reason why I think that, heck, I'm still looking for a damn PS4. If not for the car insurance that I have to pay for, I could have gotten one already this month.
We gotta talk about that in the after show.
Yeah. So yeah, God of War, the one of 2018. Yeah, playing it, I didn't even know, because there's this in most RPGs now there's like a completion percentage. You can finish the game with missing a lot of stuff. Heck, I didn't even know. I was like 90% done with the game. I didn't even finish the game yet, and I didn't even know I was finishing the game. But I didn't even know I was completing everything before finishing the game. That's how knee deep I was into the game.
Wow.
And again, people who have played it will know this, that Overwatch, God of War. Again, as I said in the previous episode, is that it's a game that transcended the genre it was born from. Mm-hmm. No one expected it to be good, because why is it third-person Tomb Raider style? Why is it kind of like The Witcher? Or, I don't know. They were comparing it to other third-person hack and slashes, and then it blew everyone's minds away. Mm-hmm. That was the first. Think about it on a grander scale. That was the first game that everyone was saying, man. When EA was going on and saying that single player experiences are dead, blah blah blah, right? So this is the first game of the. Yeah, this was the first game of the 3 that were all released by Sony to prove them wrong. This is the first game to prove EA wrong, that single players are not a dead genre. Like, single player experience are not a dead thing. then after that and then that's the reason why I say first is because come after that you have another great single player experience, which is Spider-Man and then Red Dead. Where on a grand scale, that's when everyone is saying that, look at these 3 games. These games have proved you wrong, EA. Shut up. You poopy faces. Then what else?
Yeah, that's what you get, EA.
Yeah, that's what you get. That's what you get, bro. What was the last thing? There's one more thing. One more game. When did I start streaming? Was it like streaming myself?
Earlier this year, I think.
Was it this year or?
No, it was late last year. It was late last year, if I remember right.
So last year's when I started streaming. Okay, in that case I don't have to mention Ragnarok online. I'm not gonna say Blackout either. I mean, it's just a game, but it's fun, sure, but it's not gonna it moved me. It made my soul feel more alive and more enthralled in the status of being and the essence of which is as thus. How about you, Harold? What games have made you? What games of this year that you played this year made you feel alive?
Before I do mention mine, I want to say in regards to God of War, the fact that they sort of started the studio itself kind of started from scratch, that just blew my mind. I only found out about that a couple of weeks ago. When I was more aware of the Game Awards coming up. It's ridiculous the what they were able to do in with the resources that they had, and the amount of trust that Sony and all the other financial backers had with them. So God of War was amazing. Sadly, I didn't get to play God of War yet because I have been preoccupied with the second single player game you were mentioning, Spider-Man, which I've paused a little bit because I found out I was acquiring a capture card. So I was like, why not stream it? Why not stream the, Spider-Man? Okay, so for me, aside from, like you said, aside from the obvious Overwatch and which I'll get to in a little bit, Spider-Man blew me away because initially I had not expected a Spider-Man game to live up to my expectations. I never thought that another Spider-Man game would help me dare to dream again. But this game, with all the right tools at its disposal and all the right story elements and all the right gameplay first and foremost was what brought me and hooked me into Spider-Man. Because man, do you feel like Spider-Man when you play this game, DZ? You feel like freaking Spider-Man. And
I can imagine.
Yeah, man. And you know what? Spider-Man definitely, hands down, is my favorite game of the year. Mainly because I haven't played Red Dead and God of War. And Spider-Man just made me feel like a kid again. And I think that's the same for a lot of people who got to play it. Because of the fact that Marvel and whoever's heading the gaming side of the Marvel games wants to build a Marvel gaming universe around Spider-Man. Or the Spider-Man franchise. They want we discussed this a couple of weeks back. They want Spider-Man to be like the Iron Man movie for the MCU, for the Marvel gaming universe. So it speaks to how well the Spider-Man game did, and how much it touched everyone. So I can't wait. You and I spitballed a couple of weeks back about the potential of the Spider-Man game and what you could potentially see from building off of that. I mean, we're already aware that, and there have been leaks about a Square Enix Avengers Initiative game. So I'm super psyched for the potential of that. And that's mainly because Spider-Man got me believing again.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if they handle Spider-Man, they already have a good start with what they did with Spider-Man. If only they just keep doing what they're doing. I don't want to make it seem like it's so easy, but you guys can just literally print money if you just do what you guys did with Spider-Man. If you put that much effort, that much care, that much passion into a game, you can print money.
Yes.
I mean, again, it's not about the graphics, developer. It's not about the graphics. Make your game pretty. Sure, it helped, but it's not. Wow, it's not like, is that real or is that CG. It's not nothing like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a freaking game, so just focus more time on how the game plays, the story, the essence of the character of the hero. Do the same. Do what you guys did with Spider-Man, and if you want to make like an Iron Man open world, a Hulk open world, X-Men or whoever, we're gonna we might go back to that rabbit hole. But yeah. What else? Aside from Spider-Man?
So of course, World of Warcraft has been something that's stuck with me over the past years of my life. I've been an avid fan of Blizzard games, and World of Warcraft is one of the key reasons for that. But I'll save the talk about World of Warcraft for another time because I could go on for decades. But Overwatch, DZ, like you mentioned, Overwatch has probably impacted my life the most this year because of shoutcasting, because of the Scrim Nights and the people who found us through those, the people we have found through Scrim Nights, and the people who just enjoy Overwatch. We thought that the circle we had thought we had formed. For a while we thought that was the limit. We thought, okay, this is fun. We'll enjoy Overwatch for as long as it lasts. But now it's kind of something that we want to help grow. It's become more than just a game to us, and the community that we've found and met is a large part of that. I would have never thought we could have shoutcasted for a living, and a couple of weeks back we became professional shoutcasters. I always thought if I was ever going to commentate on something, it wouldn't be an esport, it'd be a traditional sport like soccer. But Overwatch has changed the way I view commentating and entertainment in general. And you could say all you want about the stagnation of the content of Overwatch in recent memory, but the fact is it's still done so much more in the FPS genre than any other FPS in recent memory. And that's not to knock on games like CSGO or Fortnite or PUBG, because all of those have done a lot as well. But
yes,
personally is what we're talking about right now. Our experiences over the past year, and personally, Overwatch has done so much in terms of making me care about an FPS, and the characters, the team behind it, the music, all of it just ties in. The esports scene, they've created such an amazing ecosystem, and I hope it doesn't go the way of Heroes of the Storm. I'm so hopeful. And
yeah,
I really want things to swing up for Overwatch. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I was like, side note, we can actually talk about that in a bit.
For real though, we will. During the Blizz Corner, we've listed that as a topic. Yeah, I can't believe how much has come out of Overwatch for us. And on that note, I really hope that Overwatch doesn't stagnate. I hope it does give us that story mode that'll build the world. Jeff Kaplan has come out recently and has said that they're working on new game modes, and I'm just hoping it's not just more modes for PvP. I'm hoping they finally explore the PvE side a little more and give us sustainable content PvE wise.
I agree.
Yeah. So yeah, man. For me, it's been Overwatch, Spider-Man, and World of Warcraft.
Nice. Yeah. Right, I'm gonna go quick a bit on chat. Neil Gear says that Red Dead is the best. Yeah, so I'm guessing that's it was his game of the year, or his best games of the year. So yeah, Red Dead is definitely an awesome game. I'm still buying a PS4, guys. Just maybe next month now.
Do it.
Eldergen says that Monster Hunter World and Warframe are his best two games of the year. And actually, I know. Sorbentus PH is joining us in the chat. Hey, Sorb.
Blackout.
Blackout. What else? But yeah, I mean, if anyone else in the chat wants to chime in and let us know what question did you say? It's weird to say your games of the year, but I guess what game struck you the most this year? Is that a way to put it?
What games have you enjoyed playing, and what games do you remember from 2018? Because we've played so many games this year, from toilet games to FPSs. What games have you remembered? Is is more important, I think, for us, because that'll ring truer than what did you play, or what's your game of the year, because game of the year could have so many connotations and so many implications. I'd rather ask you what you remember the most. What are the games you remember the most through this year? So for ill or for good, I guess is the question. So let us know in the chat, guys. Tweet us if you're listening to the VOD or the podcast. But for the meantime, we're gonna move on, DZ. We're gonna move on. There's a lot to talk about today. We're gonna burn through it. We're gonna burn through it so we can just enjoy, sit back, and relax. I think this will be a shorter episode than most. But if you're watching the Twitch stream VOD, then this is definitely a longer episode a longer stream than most of our previous games. XX _ Crimson _ X is asking us, do you think Call of Duty has lost itself? That's a tough question. Because over the past years, I think EA has directed the market itself to lose itself, and Activision is at fault for that as well. Diluting their games and coming out with yearly releases has been a suit that Activision has followed with the Call of Duty franchise. So I don't know. It's tough for me. It's tough for me to answer that. Diego, would you have a more thorough opinion?
How would I put it? Well, okay. If you ask the question, like, do you think Call of Duty has lost itself? Well, they know what makes their game great. They know what makes their game work, and I can't say that. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? I'm not saying they haven't made improvements. They've made improvements as far as graphics, maybe quality of life. Well, if you take the most recent release of Black Ops 4, I don't think so. I'd rightfully say I don't think they've lost themselves. I think that I can only say the time that they did almost lose themselves was with Advanced Warfare. But with the most recent release, I think that was probably the best release that they've had so far. I guess the game is... And then, honestly, I keep saying this while we play. Sorbs knows this. I call it the inferior product. It is... But it's... I'm not also being biased because I'm a closet battlegrounds player now, or a battle royale player now, but
you really are though. You're like, Black Ops not the best game of the year, and then
I think
play right before the show.
Elgin summarized it perfectly. That's why I love Elgin on this chat. It's a total return to form, right? It's I think they just wanted to make a solid FPS game. I mean, I guess it does suck that there's no like campaign, which is what I loved about COD. But the thing is, maybe because they took that out, because I remember playing, I forgot which COD this was. I forgot which Black Ops it was. It was one of the recent CODs. They had futuristic weapons, but it wasn't Advanced Warfare, okay? Or was it Infinite Warfare? I'm not sure, but it was one of them. The campaign was so lackluster that like they should have just focused on something multiplayer, like a multiplayer game through and through, or maybe just rethink their strategy or whatnot. So yeah, it's a good return to form. So yeah, I mean, that I don't know if I answered your question, Crimson, but yeah, that's the best I could give.
Oh man, it's tough, dude, and it's kind of like the NBA games and the wrestling games. You know, like you play them because they have certain feel when you play them. You know, there's a certain feel you get when you body slam someone in a video game, or when you dunk on someone in a video game, or when you make a jump shot. So there's a feel to it. There's a tactile feel to pressing the buttons or your keyboard keys and hitting something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think the best way also to describe a game that has lost itself is something like, okay, you remember SmackDown versus Raw back in PlayStation 2? The ones by THQ?
Do I ever? I ever?
Yeah. Well, ever since, I mean, they continued the franchise, but it wasn't THQ anymore. Whoever like started continuing that's when it lost itself. That's a game that lost itself. When THQ was no longer making the SmackDown versus Raw stuff, that's when it changed. That's when it was like, what am I playing? What is this stuff?
And like up until the most recent 2K iteration, like it really just wasn't good.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like I get what you mean, man.
Here Comes the Pain and SmackDown vs. Raw were the great. Yeah, there's Elgin, and he remembers that. I played it with Elgin a lot. I think back in the day.
Ruins, bro.
After that-
Ruins, Taya. Let's get our games in Ruins.
Oh yeah, 100 pesos per game.
A little bit of nostalgia there. Okay, so let's get to the news. Let's get to the news, guys. We got a little bit, just a teeny bit of news to talk about, so we got to get to it. Here we go.
This week in video games.
Yes! This week in video games is brought to you by the QuitSmas Geekcast. Supposedly tomorrow at 1 p.m., but because of my technical difficulties with the computer, not 11 a.m. Don't scratch that. It'll happen this Friday. Yes, the QuitSmas episode of the QuitSmas Geekcast, the final QuitSmas Geekcast of the year, will happen Friday, 1 p.m. Philippine Standard Time, 9 p.m. California time. All right, on Thursday night. So check that out. QuitSmas Geekcast. Yes, the QuitSmas Geekcast. Also available now on Spotify, just like GameByte. So check it out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, got a little bit of news for you tonight. Crimson will answer your question near the end of the show. Diego, if you could note that a little bit.
Yeah, that is a very good question, actually.
Yeah, we want to tackle the news almost immediately so we can have time for all the questions. So let's get to it, DZ. Are you familiar with these two gentlemen?
Oh yeah, I'm all too familiar with the Backpack Kid.
Backpack Kid,
the guy on the right.
Floss. And then Alfonso Ribeiro, also known as Carlton Banks from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, who does the Carlton. These two gentlemen are suing Fortnite. Surprise, surprise. Fortnite is finally getting sued for copyright infringement because of the dances that they've stolen, guys. All right? So, for the people who aren't aware, the guy on the right might be a little bit past our generation, just a smidge. So it's this guy. No, not that guy. That's Will Smith. Okay, that's Will Smith.
No, this is a story of all about him.
Yes,
is that right?
That show, that TV show, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That was the first time we saw this dance. Yes, the Carltons. I'm sorry for the people at home who are listening only to the audio. Maybe like Francis, who's probably commuting with LTE only. Yes, that is the Carlton, first started by Alfonso Ribeiro, who played Carlton Banks on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air show. Him, along with the Floss Backpack Kid, are suing Fortnite for copyright infringement of those dances. Because, DZ, the main argument for this is because Fortnite is charging for those dances. You could get away with tributes, if I'm not mistaken, because World of Warcraft has for the longest time. They've taken dances like MC Hammer's, Hammer Time dance, and they've gotten away with it. But dances like this, the Floss from the Backpack Kid, even Donald Faison, who's known as Turk on Scrubs, felt really bad about the fact that you can't apparently trademark a dance. You can't do it because Fortnite inquired at NBC, who owned the rights for his dance. I'm looking for it now. Because this is Donald Faison's original dance, dude. He came up with this on the spot when they told him to. Right, I'm gonna show it on screen now. There's this little scene on Scrubs where he joins like an air band. I don't know why this is super slow motion. Yeah, see, he did this on the spot because he's a really talented dancer, and
no kidding,
Fortnite just blatantly copied it. Yeah, frame for frame, dude. This is his original dance. You will not find this outside of Fortnite or Scrubs.
Okay, so Human Panda asked a good question. Wait. So since you can you copyright a dance move?
So that's apparently the story. You can't. That was the original reason why when Fortnite inquired at NBC, they owed no royalties. But the claim now Alfonso Ribeiro and the Floss Backpack Kid are saying, wait a second, they're making money off of something I do. There's got to be something wrong with that. And I think they're trying to, if there's no law, what I'm assuming is they're going to try and get a law passed, because it's kind of rude, right? I mean, you invented a dance and all of a sudden someone else is making money because of it.
So that means they should sue everyone who, if this passes, then someone should, well, some of Michael Jackson's, living relatives should start, copyrighting the moonwalk. But the thing is, even he didn't make the moonwalk.
And that's the thing, right? For people who charge for something that's related to the moonwalk, probably. But if it's just like a little tribute that isn't even something that a game like Fortnite would charge you for, if it was just like, oh, this random NPC in Red Dead Redemption is doing the moonwalk, you'll just find it cool.
Yeah, if anything, like, I know now about this guy from Scrub because of that dance.
That's the thing, right?
Like,
and
it's the same thing with. Sorry to cut you off there. It's like I just thought of it. It's because it's the same thing as. Okay, you know how comedians steal jokes from one another?
yeah,
Okay, I guess that's a no-no, but they can't copyright jokes, I'm assuming,
yeah.
or bits. So, I guess, like, I'm not saying you should steal, but like, that's where it's hard. You can't. Those are the things that it's hard to claim that. Oh, I do that. Yeah, you do that, but like, sorry, the law. But it's how can you copyright this thing?
That's the thing. They're just maybe licensing fees.
I guess.
If it's like
Yeah.
a frame for frame thing, like with the Scrubs dance, you can't really say that Fortnite. There's got to be some compensation, because if I made a dance up all by myself and Fortnite was like, I'm gonna charge everyone else, including you, $20. I don't know how much Fortnite dances are, but I'm gonna charge this person money to be able to use your dance in my game. That seems kind of sleazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it does.
Right?
Elderton says here, that's like suing people for getting paid to sing Happy Birthday at a birthday party, which, if I remember correctly, has happened.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
But the happy birthday thing, like, if I'm not mistaken, the time that they had the copyright has passed, so you can now safely sing happy birthday at Fridays. So you should be fine, Elder Jen. Don't worry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
But since you did mention, like, Crimson X mentions this, I think it would be okay if Fortnite made all these dances that they have copied off others were free to get on Fortnite.
Yes.
The thing is,
yes.
But if they had made it free, would that have been okay?
Because it's been okay ever since. Like, it's been okay ever since. This is the very first time that it's not okay.
If it was Realm Royale who was copying the dances, I bet no one would bat an eye. No one would bat. It's just because Fortnite is so big now that, hey, maybe we can get a cut of that. I think it's not even like I'm pissed that they used my move. It's more like I think I can get some of their moolah from this.
Well, it's also because I'm pissed that they used my move and are getting so much money from it. If it was insignificant, then why bother? But since they're making so much money out of dances, emotes, I guess, it's unfair.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. I don't know. I don't know who to side with on this one.
Well, I
don't want to say I'm taking sides
if it was a small time developer, then there's no point, right? Because they're not gonna get much money out of it, and you're disputing like something that would probably cost less than more than less than the lawyering fees. But since it is a significant amount, if someone stole something from you and it only made like $10, you're like, they didn't make much money out of it. But if they made $1 billion, Diego, you'd be like, wait a second, all right, I made that off, and now they're making $1 million.
Oh man! Wait, Monster Plays in the chat says next time dancers can sue Overwatch dancers. Are there? Oh yeah, the Overwatch dances. Yes, Overwatch has dances too, like the Charlton, and what else? What are the other dances there? Let's do the twist like we get one of Winston. I mean, it's the thing. It's a dance, but like, and here you can add that's the thing also. Like, you can argue with Overwatch that essentially if you pay for loot boxes to unlock them, that's paying. But
see,
it's such a gray area, man. It's like,
well, for Overwatch it is grayer, but for Fortnite it's like it's huge. It's admittedly it's way bigger than Overwatch because the fact that there's no barrier of entry to play the game, and you see all those dances to begin with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's.
And then there's another layer to Overwatch where you have to pay to play the game, and then the dances are there. So, you know.
Oh yeah, exactly. There's a barrier to entry to the game, man. Okay. I know who to sign on. This is really a scummy move from these people. Like, I'm sorry. You guys just want a piece of the pie that they work so hard to cook. I'm sorry.
Wait,
I thought I'm like saying this to the guys who are suing Fortnite. I mean,
but DZ, Fortnite wouldn't have a dance to steal from if it wasn't for these people.
That's true. There is that. But like
again,
so
if you made up a dance,
okay.
You made up a dance, and Fortnite was like, I'm gonna take Diego Z's dance, and I'm gonna charge people money for it.
Mm-hmm.
And they make a lot of money from that. You would be pissed. I know you. You would be pissed. You'd be like, they're using my dance. They're using my dance.
Elgin, do I sound like that? Tell me.
Oh no, I wasn't doing an impression of you, Diego.
Yes, you were, Harold. I know you. Okay, fair point. All right, yeah, I guess it's somewhere in the middle for me. But anyway, yeah, like, how would I put it? How would I summarize it? Well, pretty much, yeah. I think the only reason they're doing it again is because there is a lot of money in it.
Yeah.
But again, if it was Realm Royale, no offense, or Island of Nine, or the other ones, I don't think they'd bat an eye.
Yeah. And it's because it's such a consistent revenue stream for Fortnite.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah.
All right. So moving on, Diego, you're a fan of Kingdom Hearts, are you not? You've played Sora. You've played Goofy and Mickey.
I'm not. Honestly, I'm sorry. People are gonna hate me. I'm not such a huge fan of Kingdom Hearts.
Really now?
Yeah, people actually say, like, Jax, how could you not like this game? It has Disney written all over it and video games. How could you not like this game? It's not my genre. It's actually, no, surprisingly, is my genre, but
It is your genre. Wait.
Yeah, I know.
It's God of War, but with Disney characters.
Even more, like, it's particularly my genre, but, like, for some reason, it's not my thing. I mean, I can't dig the game as much as other people do. Unless they put Kratos in, and then that changes everything. How do I deal? Why? Oh, here. Okay. I just didn't like the fact that I couldn't control Donald and Goofy. There.
Okay. It's the whole, you kind of wish it was like Dragon Age where you could control the companions.
Yes. I think it's because I wanted to have full control of my party. I mean, I get, man, there's like some sort of control because you can equip Donald and Goofy with stuff. You can set your party to do certain things, and it puts more depth and combinations and all. But back when I first saw it on PlayStation when I was a kid, it's like, I want to control everyone. Why can't I control Donald? I love Donald. And I think it also bugged me that there was no Mickey. Where's Mickey? What the heck is this game? There's a lot of shallow reasons. But so since then, I've more or less just followed the game's popularity just to know how much it's gone through, because man, Kingdom Hearts is a huge franchise. It's a great franchise.
Most definitely.
Right? I mean, like, who'd have thunk, Cloud would fight alongside Pete, right?
Oh man, Pete. And I have fond memories of Pete because of, not fond, I guess, terrible memories of Pete because of a Goofy movie.
Oh,
Pete was the bad guy of a Goofy movie.
Yeah, I mean, actually, wait, the first one when they were going to the other like the power line.
Yeah, dude.
Such
a bad influence on Goofy.
I wouldn't say he was the antagonist. He was just more of like, how is in the hero's journey? What is he? He's like, I don't know what to put him as. Yeah, let's just put him as the bad influence, but he's not the main bad guy here. I think it's more of a man versus himself plot. My God, we're going into the movie now, guys.
Yes.
Stay down.
Above the crowd.
Elgin has one more point with it. The
Go for it.
batshit insane plot of this game. I don't understand anything. Although
Well,
I will admit,
you never played it, Diego.
I've tried to follow it, like watching the cutscenes. Like, I tried asking my brother who played to explain. My God, it's so convoluted. The mere fact that they have like HD Remix 2.5, the final song.
Oh
blah,
yeah.
Blah, blah.
Oh wait a second. I gotta rewind it a little bit. You asked for
spoilers?
Mickey. You got Mickey.
There he is.
Oh man. No, but yeah, the plot is kind of crazy, and the fact that you mix a bit of the Square Enix universe in the Disney world is kind of weird as well.
Yeah. But how about you? Like, did you play it back in the day? Were you fond of the franchise?
Dude. Oh hell yeah. I was all up in them gummies. All right. I was all up in them gummies. That's what you call the ships that they would. Again, there's spaceships as well, I guess, in this.
All right.
Oh man.
Crimson
Take care,
said he
Crimson.
actually has to go. Thanks for joining. We'll get to your question like at the end of the show, but so you can watch it at least in the end of the stream in the VOD.
That's right. But yeah, it's an insane plot. But for me, I played it for not mainly for the story. Although when you get into the story, you kind of want to know what happens in the end. But I played the game for the feel. Again, it's an action slasher. And with a little bit of spell magic in between. So again, we talk about the tactile feel of mashing the buttons, and it feels good. It feels good, like any action game worth its salt. It feels good.
Of course. Did you beat Sephiroth?
No.
No. I know that was like, it's one of those games where there's a hidden boss who's stronger than the main villain. So like,
Yeah.
Who's the real villain here?
Dude, we talked about X-Play last week, the G4 TV show. That was the first time I found out about Sephiroth in Kingdom Hearts because they featured him.
Oh yeah?
It was one of those segments on X-Play where it was like, I bet you didn't know that at the end of the game you could do this and do that and fight Sephiroth. Yes, the very same Sephiroth from Final Fantasy.
Is that Adam Sessler? I mean, think of it this way. I mean, like that was the time that I don't think the internet was such a thing. Was big back then during that time.
You went on the internet for cheat codes and reviews, I guess.
But I mean, with the speed, I mean, you didn't have the luxury of like, going through everything, and you have to like dedicate like hours to like, okay, read through a walkthrough. Blah, blah, blah.
Oh yeah, YouTube and Twitch weren't what it is today. They were a far cry from what they would end up being.
Yeah, you'd have to hope to God that the guy who talked about the guide or the walkthrough on GameFAQs was like very, very specific.
Oh yeah, definitely, because like you'd split hairs on like their terminology. You're like, wait, does he mean? What do you mean by hold down on the button and then move? Like, what? I don't get it, man. So there's a lot of oh man, there's a lot of stuff back then.
Yeah.
So
anyways,
going back to the main
leak.
point.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts apparently had a leak, and the director has responded to the leak. So, the franchise director Tetsuya Nomura has released a statement regarding the alleged leaks of Kingdom Hearts 3, and he confirmed that they're actually, a lot of his team are actually investigating the situation. He says that they're aware of the leak and how it occurred, and they're sorry it caused concern among their fans. So, for people who are concerned with spoilers, don't look for the leak is pretty much the message of this, because there's spoilers out there. And I'm not gonna be spoilery about it, but why, internet? Why do you do this? Why do people even bother with the leaks? If you really cared about the game, wait for it to come out and then maybe leak it. Because what's the point? What's the point of it coming out early? I guess some people get hyped about it, but some people just end up being deflated that they found out what the ending was.
I want to look for the leak.
Do it, Diego. Do it, because you're not gonna play it anyway.
I'm kidding. Yeah. So good.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming out to the PlayStation on PlayStation and Xbox, PlayStation 4 and Xbox worldwide on January 29. So you got like a month, Diego, to decide, do I want to read the leak and maybe get myself into this game?
Okay, here. Kingdom Hearts. Okay, now that I remembered, I was picking my brain about trailer for Kingdom Hearts. This one I might play for one reason. It's because they actually put Toy Story in it.
Yeah.
And of course, so
yeah.
I mean, we have Buzz Lightyear there,
Lightyear.
so why not?
And if I'm not mistaken, it's Tim Allen and Tom Hanks voicing the characters.
Oh, that's great! Thank God. Wait for the English. Oh, yeah, obviously for the English stuff, unless they know how to speak Japanese.
Nani, Woody.
Buzz.
No. No.
Okay, let's not go there. Okay, so is that it for the leaks?
Yeah. So yeah, they're leaks. They're leaks. Don't look for them if you don't want to get spoiled. Elderjin in the chat says, "Oh yeah, he looked it up, and Kingdom Hearts 3 ends with Dumbledore's death. It's sad, really. Spoilers, Elderjin. You have to premise your spoilers with the big caps, okay? You can't just throw out
GG easy.
Oh man! All right, Diego, the Winter Wonderland is a thing in Overwatch. It came out last week and we didn't get to talk about it. So, Blizzard World looks really pretty in Winter Wonderland. Oh wait, I forgot to do our little sound bite. Here we go. Wait, let me lower the music. Oh, you know what? I don't need to lower the music. Here we go. Oh.
Damn!
Wait, what the?
Yeah! Let's break it! Damn!
There we go. All right. Yeah, so Winter Wonderland, Diego. The skins are cool. Blizzard map looks great, as we saw in Overwatch scrims last night. Here only on twitch.tv/quitstalling. But aside from that, nothing really new from Overwatch this year. And that's another thing I wanted to explore a little bit before we move on to the big Blizzard news. DZ, what do you think you know my opinion, and it's PvE. It's more lore development in game. That's my solution to the content stagnation. What would you want from Overwatch and Papa Jeff this Winter Wonderland, this winter's season, these happy holidays? What would you want from Papa Jeff for Overwatch?
A Netflix series.
Oh!
I mean, of course, like, who wouldn't want? I mean, I'm already getting Diablo. So that's fine. The Diablo Netflix series. But that's a rumor, right? Or is it final?
The Blizzard Diablo, the Netflix Diablo series is still a rumor, but we do have phones.
Okay. Maybe this. I mean, if it was a rumor about a Netflix series for Overwatch, why not? And do it in. I want them to do it in the way they made Legend of Korra. That it was. I mean, it looks like an anime. People, that's what, when Korra, not Korra, when Avatar, when Avatar came out, people thought it was an anime, but no, it wasn't. And technically, it looks like an anime, yes, but it's made in the US, thus it's not an anime. So I wanted them to do it in the art
Legend
style.
of Korra was made in Korea.
Okay, well, but I mean, is it it's still a Western-made series, TV show.
Yes. The story and everything is mainly directed by Brian Konietzko and Mike DiMartino from America.
Yeah, like I wanted to do it like this, how they made it. It's still Westernly done. It's done from the West, but it looks like an anime. I mean, two things together, why not, right? And I love the animation of the Doomfist reveal.
Yeah. So when Diego says I wanted them to do it like this, for the audio only listeners, we're playing the video of the Doomfist origin video, the Doomfist origin story video on the Overwatch YouTube. So check it out. If they could do a whole season of this, just give us 8 episodes, like Final Space style. Give us 8 episodes, 10 episodes.
Yeah, that's true.
I would wait 2 years at a time for an Overwatch series. It gave us actual backstory. All right, I love the cinematics. Don't get me wrong, Diego. I love
Mm-hmm.
seeing Ash and McCree with their banter and the Deadlock Gang and Bob and all of that. Diva with her pointless micro missiles and defense matrix being really cool. But
Mm-hmm.
oh my god, this part of the video terrified me where Tracer starts going like haywire. But like, give us 8 episodes, and I would give us 6. Give us 4 really coherent episodes.
You know what? Just give us a 4-hour movie.
Why not?
Paikli na paikli.
Just give us something that fleshes out the story, and
Sam's in
I
the
would
chat
be
says,
happy.
Genji's ult would last 3 episodes. Oh my god. Okay, that's treating it like a Dragon Ball series now. Well, then again, I mean, what? Yeah, I mean, like, okay, here, like, the reason why I don't want them to add anything gameplay wise is because, well, one, I can't think of anything. 2, like, really, right off, I mean, unless someone can tell me, maybe Harold, you can know, what could they add to the game that doesn't change the game? Because how much can you change for an FPS? I mean, aside from PvE I'd love, but then, like, if they focus too much on PvE, that I feel like that's creating a whole nother game already. Which isn't bad, but or a whole nother. It's like a whole nother mode, which I guess could take some time. Which again, I mean, if it's promising, why not? Like take your time to make it. I mean, Blizzard, you take forever to make a game anyway.
Yeah, which is what we love about them.
Yeah. So yeah, like, how about you? So Harold, what do you think they should do aside from PvE?
I don't know, man. Aside from PvE, it's tough because that's all I really want is story, because that's all we've been waiting for the past 2.5 years, 3 years is story.
Of course. Yeah.
What game that has such a deep history and has such an expansive lore and potential for even more expansive lore? What game has had all that and not given you story in 3 years that succeeded? Just Overwatch.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, if you look at LOL, the tutorial mode, and Dota, and Dota, and if you look at Dota, I mean, they have lore. I mean, there's interactions between heroes, there's descriptions, there is lore, but it doesn't captivate you as much as it does with Overwatch. And like, sad to say, I think Blizzard kind of dug themselves with that they gave us the biggest teaser ever. Like, they edged us like anything with the story. So, you know, now that we've had a taste of that, of what Blizzard gave us with Overwatch, we just want more.
Yeah. I mean, and that little cycle of give us PvE content, then more PvP, then PvE, then more PvP, then more PvE. I think that'll really just do wonders for the sustainability of the game. And we've already gotten teases of what Overwatch PvE would look like in Retribution, in what's that called? What was the first PvE map they gave us? The Tracer's first mission.
Oh, I thought the first PvE was Junkenstein.
Oh, Junkenstein. Oh, well, Junkenstein as well. You know, we've gotten different types of PvE. You had the defend the wall. You had the go through the entire dungeon style PvE.
Mm-hmm.
So there's potential there, and there's a lot they could explore. And these are the guys who made instance dungeons a thing. Blizzard Entertainment. They were the first ones to bring instance dungeons into an MMO. So if anyone is creative enough, Papa Jeff was part of those teams. All right, if anyone is creative enough, it's any Blizzard team, and I thoroughly hope that they give us something like that. That's all I want. That's all I want. Fix PvE, then PvP, then fix PvP, then
Or here, this is my last one. You know how? Okay, here you have Warcraft, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have the original Warcraft RTS. What did they do? They made a whole new game, but they used the Warcraft IP. They made WoW. So, yeah, like, think of it like this. Just keep the game as is. I mean, I have said I don't think there's really much you can do that Blizzard can do with it, aside from just make sure it's balanced and just make sure that the fandom is here. That's the thing. Let's focus. Keep the fandom there. Keep people loving the franchise. So why not focus again on a game that still has the Overwatch IP, but it's a different genre? Why not make it was like maybe make it on the, I guess, I don't know if you follow the same timeline, but maybe put it in the time where Overwatch was still regulated in the story. Okay, Overwatch the was regulated in the story, that the government wasn't like pissed off about them and whatnot. So I guess that's when you create, like, if you make it a MMO, which was, you know, what Overwatch was supposed to be, make your, like, you create characters who are supposed to be Overwatch soldiers. You know,
I would not say no. I really wouldn't. Right? I would just give us Destiny with an Overwatch skin, and I'll be happy.
Yeah, I don't mind the genre changing. I just want Overwatch to still be this.
Woo! Forget the Q, Sue. It's time for woo!
Ric Flair, man.
You remember that Mr. T commercial for World of Warcraft? Get Ric Flair to just go woo! Woo!
Oh my god.
I'd be down for that. I'd be down for that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So DZ, let's get to the most serious part of the night, which is saying something, because we've had a slightly more serious take on things, more than we're usually familiar with. But sadly, Diego, as news has broken of late in the Blizzard universe, Heroes of the Storm has been gutted. I don't know why.
Well, just to be specific, the game is still live. It's just that they canceled, if I'm not mistaken, Harold, correct me if I'm wrong, they've canceled a huge event for the pro scene.
They've canceled the pro scene itself. They have stopped esports development for Heroes of the Storm. And this was a big topic over the week. So it started off with a post from Blizzard saying that HGC, the Heroes Heroes Global Championships, if I'm like that, here HGC. Heroes of the Storm Global Championship. And the Heroes of the Dorm, which is their collegiate version of an esports tournament, was announced to not be returning in 2019. And that is everything the Heroes scene was waiting for. The HGC, which is regional. You have HGC Pacific and North America and Europe. And of course, Korea. No more Heroes esports in 2019. And if their statement is to be, taken into full in the future, there is no, they will stop esports support for Heroes of the Storm. And that's a huge blow. And not only are they doing that, Diego, they're moving a lot of the developers, a lot of the development team from Heroes of the Storm into other games. That is huge. They're gutting the team. They're gutting the entire game, which we have been told will be an ongoing game for the foreseeable future. So, in essence, Diego, they're making it StarCraft 2.
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah, it's a shame because the biggest detriment to all this is that the fact that they stopped the pro scene. You can just imagine how many aspiring athletes, people with jobs like shoutcasters, organizers, coaches, teams, brands have invested time, effort, money into Heroes of the Storm, and just to find out that there's no more, it's game. Like, yeah, for lack of, that's the best way to put it. It's a dead game, and and I think what was the worst part about it was that, from what I've heard and what I've read, is that no one was informed ahead of time. Like, they didn't give any news about it. Yep. They were just given, a bomb just dropped and like that, bam. They just dropped the ball to them. All right, we're cutting it. That's it. So, yeah. Blizzard's having a hard year this year. They're having a hard year this year.
And that's the thing. Are they really? You know, like in terms of PR, yes, they're having a terrible year, especially because of BlizzCon and the whole Diablo fiasco. But this could have been totally avoided if they learned from the Diablo fiasco. They could have just released a post way earlier saying Heroes of the Storm announcement coming soon. Just that simple of a text, as ominous as that would be. Maybe dole out a little bit of information at a time, soften the blow. I get that. I get that people were waiting for this, and maybe this, like, as soon as they got clearance to confirm everything, they posted. But it was an awful wait for people, because a lot of the pros, like you were saying, a lot of the teams and potential sponsors were waiting on word for the HGC, and all of a sudden they just got the bomb dropped on them, like, nope, no HGC, no Heroes of the Dorm next year, and no more hot support for esports. And by the way, a lot of the team is leaving Heroes of the Storm. Like, that's a lot to take in, man. And, you know, it's kind of like, for us, imagine us with Overwatch. They just say, like, oh, no more Overwatch. Like, yeah, the Overwatch will continue to be able to be played, but, you know, you're not going to get Overwatch League anymore. That's it. It's done. Like, that's huge, man.
Yeah, but I mean, like, there's no. It doesn't even seem like there's any, like, what's the term when there's, like, you know, light at the end of the tunnel kind of thing. There's no good news, bad news. I mean, like, they could have said something like, how strict is Blizzard? Is quite strict when it comes to third parties or outside forces making a tournament for Overwatch, right?
Yeah.
So
very strict up until recently.
Yeah. So if that's the case, like, maybe, you know, something like, we won't be hosting the HGC. We don't have the funds to do it, but we can be a bit more lenient if other communities want to host their own tournaments. I mean, I know it's kind of far-fetched solution, but, like, you know, there was, you know, it would have been nice if there was some silver lining with it, you know?
Yeah, and I agree with Elderjin in the chat. You know, there's been no growth, and the long-term sustainability isn't there. As much as this is a love letter for Blizzard, for all their games past and present, there's been no growth, and it's been unfortunate, especially since the mobile esports scene has grown tremendously since HOTS was released. You know, it's really sad, and they did say themselves that it wasn't an easy thing for them to do, to cut HOTS out, but it seems like, you know, they went down without a fight, I guess, is based on the reactions from the community, because there were a lot of people still heavily invested in HOTS. I get that there was no growth, but it also didn't feel like they did too much to expand their reach. It feels like they tried way harder with Overwatch to reach so many target demographics than they did with HOTS. And you know, Diego, you and I know, with the 3 followers watching us right now, marketing is everything.
Come on, 9 followers.
But you know what I mean, right? Like,
yeah.
I get that you can't just dump money in it and pray that people watch, but at the same time, like, this is easily one of the easier video game, like, MOBAs to follow visually. And I know LoL and Dota are easy to follow as well, especially if you're heavily invested in the game. But this, you know, there's no items to worry about here. It's purely objectives and the hero builds, which, you know, taking the items out alone makes it a lot easier to explain.
I mean, I get it. Yeah, I mean, there is a following in terms. There's a huge player base for the game. It's a polished game. It's a Blizzard game. It's polished, but, like, yeah, I get that it's on an esports level, though. It wasn't, you know, it wasn't thriving. There wasn't much growth there, as Elgin said. It's just that, you know, the way they handled the announcement for all this was horrible. I mean, if I may, can I read a tweet from a video?
Please do.
Okay, so I was watching. If you guys want check out Yongyea. That's Yongyea. He's a video game. He's a YouTuber. Also, like, I would say, He's one of those guys who talk a lot about news and controversies in the industry, and he's very informative. So he has this video where he talks about the lack of communication from Blizzard's end to the athletes, to the esports athletes, playing Heroes of the Storm. And he uses a tweet from Johan Lauber. I'm not sure from which team he was, but he's like, okay, I'm going to read Johan Lauber's tweet, which is,
I think it's Johan.
F-U... Oh, Johan, that's right. Johan Lauber, he's like, F you honestly, working 6 hard months with new fantastic teammates for this S. Radio silence for weeks. I sent multiple emails, and all I got was that they were working on finalizing the details. So I guess, like a lot of the big problem is that, yeah, Blizzard really just didn't communicate properly with this one.
What's going on?
Yeah, there's a few more I want to point out, like from Endemic, from one of Liam O'Malley from Endemic Esports.
Oh, Liam O'Malley.
Yeah, Liam McCard. For the past 3 years, I've committed 8 to 10 hours a day into HOTS to make it into HGC one day. I even dropped out of college to pursue my dream. Finally, I did it, and was going to be playing for Endemic Esports as offlane in 2019. Now I'm told it's canceled. I'm so sad. So yeah, and then at least what's nice is that at least the companies that are the team owners are taking responsibility, and like they're helping out their athletes, because they essentially don't have a job until they find another game, right? So right now, and from Endemic Esports, they're like, no, Endemic will not leave our HGC players high and dry. We are incredibly committed to supporting our players and will work tirelessly to ensure the negative impact that this decision has made on their lives this decision has on their lives is as minimal as possible. Simply put, we take care of our own. So yeah, I mean, it at least that there is some light at the end of the tunnel for the athletes, that some of their owners are going to take care of them. But I can't say that for everyone.
Yeah, it's sad and highly unfortunate because of all the collateral. You know what I mean? Like, again, at the end of the day, it's a business, and it was a business that wasn't growing. But it's just sad. And the fact that so many people aspired to get into this scene just makes it all the more heartbreaking.
Okay, I want to ask you something, Harold. I mean,
go for it.
Okay, you can call us Blizzard fanboys, but that doesn't mean we aren't objective when it comes to their decisions.
I love Blizzard. This was the wrong. This is the best decision ever. Best decision ever.
Okay, I think we asked this when I was at your place. Like, is it a Blizzard thing, or is it an Activision meddling thing? Because the same question popped up with the whole Diablo Immortal.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like, it's so hard to tell at this point, because really, even if Activision wasn't involved at this stage, let's say Blizzard remained autonomous, and they made the same decisions, people would still, it's hard. It's difficult because we never really know who's making the decisions. Blizzard has always remained, up until recently, has remained one of the last bastions in gameplay first and players first. But recently, with their decisions, it's easier for people to say Activision is beginning to meddle because of the fact that Blizzard has stayed away from the majority point of view of wrong. They've gone so long with a relatively clean record, and now it's difficult because you still can't say that Blizzard had no hand in this as much as we would like to just pass all the hate onto Activision, because we see them as a soulless corporation. There's a reason they're called Activision Blizzard. Because the lines are blurring now, and Blizzard as we know it, as much as we love Blizzard to stay the same, they're no longer the same entity they used to be. And that's very indicative because of Mike Morhaim's leaving the company. A lot of people were saying he was forced out because he didn't share the same perspective as Activision.
Man.
Yeah, and it's difficult. We really can't tell, and it's hard to speculate because at the end of the day, we don't know anything about what's going on in the company. The news that we get has been filtered and curated, and it's hard to know who's saying the truth at this point because we're getting rumors from ex-employees, from current employees, and it's hard. It's difficult, and all we can do is wait to see what happens and pray that Blizzard stays the same. But we just came off of the year of some of the best single-player games ever, and seeing a company that hasn't been known for single-player games directly start to fall off. It's difficult. It's a difficult time.
Yeah, that's true. No, the Blizzard's never really made a single-player game. Well, they tried with Ghosts, with StarCraft Ghosts, but that fell through.
And
Which they should
RTSs,
really start.
RTSs are sort of single player, but at the same time,
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, okay. Elgin in the chat is like, oh, you guys have come so far, objectively looking at Blizzard for a change. But yeah, looking objectively, again, I mean, if it's for budget reasons, if it's for money, it's because of the lack of growth of the game, then fine, cut the game. But it's really, for me, it's all of just how they delivered their whole announcement of this cutting ties with the game. Well, not really cutting ties, but stalling of the esports scene. There is, I think there, I don't know. I mean, again, I don't work there. I'm just a guy sharing my thoughts and opinions. Is that maybe there would have been another way to announce this instead of just telling people last minute that, oh, that's it, right? And
exactly.
and like, unless, I mean, let's like, give it the benefit of the doubt. Okay, like, let's say that, wait, no, the first. I don't think there's anyone. Who am I kidding? There are people dumb enough in this world not to think about that. But like, let's just say, for the sake of argument, that if someone in Activision just like told someone in Blizzard, just tell them and we don't care, would Blizzard have actually said, okay, like, was Blizzard actually give in to that? Would they give in to that kind of decision? Like, maybe because Mike Morhaim's not there anymore, things are changing, and like, there's no more like head honcho who can say no to them. I don't know.
It's difficult, man. And again, at this point, we can only speculate. A lot of news is broken out, and we just have to keep hoping that they remain the Blizzard we've known and loved for so long. It's just I'm
not gonna say though. Yeah, I'm not gonna say though that they've gone as far as EA, because EA there's like no redemption for never. But and like, it's gonna take a long time if ever. But yeah, I mean, Blizzard's not doing really well right now in terms of PR. They're still making good games, but the PR department either needs to get a raise so they can do better, or they need to get replaced.
Or even just the marketing department. Just give us more visuals, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, they just gotta fix themselves. So like, I can't say that Blizzard's the best developer of the year, or like they're not in a good light with us right now. They're treading. They're starting to falter. There, Elgin, are you happy? Are you happy now that we're calling them mean people?
Oh man, so we hope 2019 is a more fruitful year for Blizzard and for video games in general. But for the meantime, Diego, let's look back at 2018 fondly. Let us reminisce and think of how much we enjoyed the video games we got to play this year. Man, there's a lot of games. And Overwatch, dude. Overwatch.
Oh wait, are we really? I thought you had like some video to show. Are we really gonna talk about those again?
Oh, I mean, no. I know you've expected a lot from me because of the montages I've made in previous years, but let's end on our thoughts. Let's end on our thoughts and just hope for a brighter tomorrow.
Well, one thing I'll say is that we're not gonna aside from Anthem. Wait, what else? Wait, what is coming out next year?
Not Heroes of the Storm, that's for sure.
Is Kingdom Hearts coming out next year? Oh yeah, January.
Yeah, January, yeah.
Okay, like I think that 2018 was kind of a good year when it comes. Actually, can I say
in
it's a good year
general
for
for video games, 2018 was really good. You know,
Yeah.
esports has been taken to a whole new level in terms of production, in terms of how it's run.
And like Soldier Boy has his own console now. You know about that?
Moving on. Oh man, yeah, like it's crazy how spoiled we've become, where we can nitpick like this. But it's also because we love video games so much, and we love the companies and the titles that have been produced so much. It has overall been a good year. I think the Game Awards are a testament to that. Single player games that have enthralled us this year have been a testament to that. So video games in general have a bright future. It's just that some of the companies that we've grown up with are starting to look shaky.
Yeah.
So
Sad truth.
Yeah.
I was talking to my brother earlier, like last week, about Sony. You know that they pulled out of E3, right? They're not having an E3 conference 2019.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
SonyCon.
I think it's because they don't need to be at E3. What first party game are they releasing? They've already had 3 of their games nominated for game of the year. They had Sony was so strong in the past 2 years, like 2018, 2017.
Oh yeah.
It's like we felt that they dropped everything. They released so much stuff in 2018 that there are no announcements. There are no new games that are gonna come out for maybe not until 2020 or 2021. So I think that's the reason why they're not gonna be at E3 E3 for 2019.
Man, that's crazy.
So I think that's the state Sony's in. So honestly, right now E3 is not really the best. E3 is kind of just. I'm just gonna wait for someone to montage all the trailers. I don't really care for the convention itself because it's more of just a big release of reveal. But you have the internet now, so whatever. Because if I want to watch
rewind.
Yeah. Yeah. If I just want to watch trailers, I'll just look it up online. They're gonna release it anyway. But as far as an event or a convention is concerned, I'll watch something like TwitchCon, PAX, BlizzCon, Video Game Awards, not the CBS Awards, just so you know. But yeah, Elgin has a good point though. E3 is for hardware as well. But
yeah,
I mean, I don't know if Sony's gonna release a PS5 anytime soon because maybe who knows? Maybe they will. But yeah, I don't. That's one reason why maybe a lot of the companies are pulling out in terms of their shows on E3. I think they're just not having a stage show. I don't know what you call it. They're a showroom. They're probably gonna have a booth, but they're not gonna have a huge stage where someone comes up and says, "This is the new PS5" or whatever. None of that stuff.
Okay. Yeah, well, let's wait and see. And I really think 2019 is gonna be better. 2018 was pretty great. We ended on a bit of a dour note, but 2018 has been really good in terms of video games. And the problem with some of the games that are coming out in 2019 have given us I'm hopeful, man. I'm hopeful. And as long as Anthem doesn't blow as much as we think it will, I think we have a fighting chance.
Yeah, but let's not think of Anthem as the last saving grace of 2019. I mean, there'll be more games. Yeah.
Can't wait for Spider-Man 2. Can't wait for the Marvel gaming universe.
Oh yeah. Well, let's give them more time to develop the game.
Hulk smash, Diego. Hulk smash.
Hulk smash. According to Elgin, the new Mortal Kombat's coming out next year. The new Far Cry.
The second trailer. Yeah.
Yeah. Sekiro. What's Sekiro again?
Did we talk about that last week?
What's Sekiro? Oh yeah, Monster
Sekiro
Play.
Shadows Die Twice.
Oh, okay, that one. Yeah.
We talked about this on the show before.
Yeah, I keep forgetting it. It was Sekiro. Oh yeah. There we go. Now I remember.
Maybe if you
oh
stop
yeah, that one.
anglicizing the name, Diego.
Anglicizing.
Yeah.
No, it's because it's a new IP. Come on, man. Like,
Yeah.
My memory puzzles me.
All right. Well, we're gonna end the show on that note, DZ. It's been good. It's been a good year, man. We've guested on shows like Game Ako, twice actually this year. We've had Overwatch scrims sort of take off for us, and like we mentioned at the start of the show, we found great people who enjoy the things we do. And what more can you ask for, right? What more can you ask for? We tripled our audience in the span of a year.
We did, and like, remember, we also, no, like this year's the year you and I got to be on the front page of Twitch during that the giveaway with Rumble Royale and Twitch Philippines. I think I forgot what the event was called, but it was at Game Over page, right?
Yes, it was. It was. You know, we got to meet wonderful people like Suzy Sor. We got to meet Seikachu in person for the first time. You know.
Oh yeah, we met a lot of people. That was fun.
hell.
Like, we didn't even plan to do that. They just got to us. Do you guys want to play a game with us? Like, oh, okay.
Sure. And then that Tomb Raider game was pretty fun.
It was. I didn't even know it existed.
Yeah, and it was good. It was good. It was super
good.
fun. Thank you everyone over at Rumble Royale. Yeah, it was good. It's been a great year, DZ. I know there's a lot we're forgetting. We've had wonderful guests on the show.
Yeah.
You know, we've had like Illustre, Glauco has come on the show. Of course, Jokes from
Archer.
Gameco, Archer Perez. Like, there's so many people who've come on the show, you know, and just graced us with their presence. We can't be more thankful. Tapang King.
And there's this guy like Elder Jin.
Oh, Elder Jin.
From
No,
Pittsburgh.
man. What wonderful Elder Jin, who's become our very first recurring guest on the show. Like, it's been an absolute honor this 2018. All right. And on that note, DZ, I want to say,
Wait, we still have to get to that question that Crimson XX.
oh yeah, go for it,
asked
go for
us.
it.
Okay, so Crimson XX underscore Crimson underscore X asked earlier, where is that? So here, do you guys think that the new games coming out will have Battle Royale as a standard, or do you think they shouldn't add Battle Royale? Okay, Harold, do you want to go first in this one?
I mean, where it fits, add it. That's my sentiment for life. You know, if it fits, just put it in. But oh my god. But you know, I can't imagine Spider-Man Battle Royale. Actually, I can, but don't do it.
Yeah, like I agree. Don't put it. For me, it's like don't put it in a game as a mode, especially if it doesn't fit. I can't believe I'm saying this. They should, if they're gonna make a Battle Royale game, don't pad it on to a game, even if it fits. Build the game around it. Build the game around a Battle Royale. Look at. I mean, PUBG's at a bad place right now. It's kind of good, I guess, but like where it started, it was just a Battle Royale game. Look what happened. It spawned a genre. Look what Epic Games did. Sure, it was a mode, but what happened? Because the mode was so popular, they pulled everything that they did just to make this game amazing, and it's a good game.
Yeah.
Look what Activision did. They made I don't know if this is true, but you know, they sacrificed a campaign in order to give us a good a good Battle Royale mode, which is Blackout. And I mean, it is an inferior product, but it's a good game. It's still it's a COD. It's a nice COD game. So, and I think there's one coming out about. We were talking about this the other day. It was a Battle Royale that's involving mages and wizards.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks promising because they're building the game around a Battle Royale mode. They're not
that
just
sounds fantastic.
it actually is. I mean, like it's on. I think it's on alpha right now, and then there's not really much to go about, but like it looks like promising game because the developers are taking it. They're putting their hearts into this game. They're not just churning out another clone. They're building the game around the genre, but how they're doing it is that they're not saying it's a battle royale mode. They're just saying this is a new game that we're trying to pull out. They're trying to downplay the fact that it's a battle royale, but everyone knows it's a battle royale. But they're like, oh yeah, if you want to know the genre, it's battle royale, but whatever. We're just here to make a good game. That's how it is, and I think that's how they should approach the battle royale genre. Look at what happened. Okay, sorry to keep going on, but heck, look at LOL and Dota. They were mods that when they became successful, what did they do? They just built a game around it. They dedicated a game around that mod, and look what happened. So yeah, I mean, don't just pat it on as a mode. And if you want to make a battle royale game, if it's going to be a standard, fine, but just make it its own game. Don't put it as a mode, please.
Mm-hmm.
And stop calling it battle royale, please. It's like calling Overwatch MOBA. right? It's not even like a FPS MOBA, whatever, something.
Oh yeah, it kind of is an FPS mode. But
you don't have to title it as such. Diba?
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. Eldergen in the chat said, "Admit it, Harold. You would love a WoW battle royale. That would be awful. That would be absolutely terrible." No, but on that note, I do want a Jedi battle royale. Yeah, the Jedi bounty hunters, some smugglers in there, throw them in, a couple of troopers. I would love a Star Wars battle royale. Imagine just sleeping around a battlefield, Diego, and like slashing people in half.
You're there waiting by the bush, and you're like,
You're in the bush force choking someone, and they don't know where it's coming from. Oh my god. I see Eldergen pointed out it does have sort of a genre, hero shooter. It's kind of a genre. I would sort of agree with that. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I think 2018's been a good year, DZ. I think
it's been a good year,
especially for us. It's been a very good year for us. Thank you. Thank you to everyone who watches us. Really,
yes, and that the good year for us is all thanks to everyone who's watching.
That's so true. We could not have had a good year without you guys. If we didn't have you guys, it'd be last year, because no one was watching us last year. All right. Yeah. So on that note, DZ, this Christmas, last Christmas, every Christmas, where can the folks at home find you when you are not on GameByte?
I'm yawning and pulling my side. Oh my god! Okay.
What?
The acid from your throat like backwashed up to my. Oh, sorry. Okay, so you guys can find me usual at InstaDZ on the socials. That's Twitter and Instagram, and Twitch. That's twitch.tv/InstaDZ. InstaDeezee. And for Facebook, I kind of disregarded Facebook. It's so unhealthy right now. But yeah, I also again when I'm not streaming, I am a freelance director. So in case you guys want to hire me to shoot a commercial or a video, you can check out my website www.diegoz.com. How about you, Harold? For the final show of the year, it was the night before something. I can't do a spiel. Anyway, Harold, where can the fine folks at home find you when it's not chilly and cold outside?
Even if it is chilly and cold outside, you can find me at Harold Plays on Twitter and Instagram. Yes, at Harold Plays. That's HERALD Plays. Of course, on twitch.tv/Harold Plays as well. I've begun streaming once again, so find me there. Just find me there. Twitch.tv/Harold Plays. And of course, this Friday on the QuitSmas Geekcast, 1 p.m. Philippine Standard Time. And of course, Thursday night, 9 p.m. California time. We will be on the QuitSmas Geekcast talking about the year-end recap of everything that happened this year. Yes. DZ Wisa is in the chat is asking, when do you stream? That is a very good question. One day we might know the answer. One day.
Well, when do we use it? Okay, the thing is, it's at random sometimes. We haven't. Yeah, how do we answer that, Harold? It's usually towards the evenings, like sometime after dinner.
That's true. That's true. And we're gonna get really busy in the coming days, just trying to put together our content so that we start 2019 strong. So you'll probably
and
find us,
proper
like, after
schedules.
midnight.
We'll have proper schedules for streaming as well.
Oh yeah.
From each of us individually.
A little
I
bit of a
promise you that.
tease. We might be streaming here as well from time to time on twitch.tv/quitstalling.
Could you repeat? You kind of cut in and out.
You might find us playing here on twitch.tv/quitstalling. You never know. You never know.
Yeah.
Lisa saying, I will check the live channel in Discord. Yes. For those of you who want constant updates on what we do, this is not the place. You check out our Discord, discord.me/quitstalling on your browser. And if you're not checking the chat, you could also find it discord.gg/ lowercase q, uppercase t, lowercase u, uppercase eb, 3, lowercase j. That is the worst way of plugging the Discord ever. But yes, check us out there. Thank you to our most recent followers, to all our followers in general, but to our most recent followers, you get a special shout out. Dodge This Overwatch, who loves us so much here on Quit Stalling. Thank you for the follow. Link to Wit, so Sam18, Cloverfield with a K, Sinigang, Savage Brute, Lone Nightwolf, Pai Pak, who's from Thailand. We got to meet him over on the Plus Attack event where we shoutcasted for Overwatch. Shop Plays and Charles Darrell. Thank you guys all for the follows. For our subs, Human Panda ending the year strong as our #1 all-time sub leader, and that's number 7 under his name does not do him justice. He is also gifted as much as he has subscribed himself. So Human Panda, thank you so much for continuing to support our channel. You are single-handedly giving us stuff to give away on the channel. So thank you, Human Panda. Miko P, of course, running up next to Human Panda with 5 subs in total. Farant's issue with 3. Sensei Humor, my co-host on the Quitslime Geekcast, is there as well. Monster Plays already has 2 subs. 1 gifted from, I think, Human Panda, if I'm not mistaken, and 1 tier 1 sub. Neo Gear, Ion Hammerstream, Baninja, It's Just Sauce, and InstaDZ, who was our very first sub. That handsome man was our very first subscriber on the channel. The second we got the sub button, he was like, you know what? I'm going to subscribe. Neo Gear, who has claimed the top spot at #1 for bit cheering all time with 2,300. Neo, thank you so much. You have dethroned No Plays, who held the crown for a day. Unfortunately, could not survive past 24 hours. Elder Jin, who is coming up behind Neo Gear with 2,000 now. He's going to want to reclaim that crown really soon. I can feel it. Nerf Diva, who we haven't seen in a while, but still have appreciated the 1,700 bits. If not now, Gwen as well, who cheered us on. Mercy, Tita Gamings, Hue, and the guys over at Gameoko, who also, we haven't seen the guys over at Gameoko in ages, DZ.
Man, like they're doing well for themselves on Facebook and with tier 1, man. I'm so happy for Jobs and the rest. Jobs, Vincent. I mean, they're streaming God of War now. They're fun. I love it when they play the scary games. Their clips are priceless.
That's probably their hook, right? The scary games. It's the best one.
Yeah. Ang lakas nila, I swear. One thing I want to point out also, I gotta say that Wisize? How do you pronounce it here? Sorry, Wisize?
DZ, for the 7th time. It's Wisize. Okay,
just making sure. I'm sorry. Apologies.
No. There are no dumb questions. Just dumb people.
We say. Is that right? Is that right?
For the 8th time, Diego. It is. Okay. It is Wisa is.
Wisa is. Wisa. There. Wisa. There. Let's go with Wisa. Wisa. Like you said in the chat earlier. She said, like, that's hard to believe no one was watching you guys last year anyway. Denasi says true. So, again, like, we met these two earlier, earlier this year. I mean,
such great people.
Like, I think it was ESGS, right? The last day of ESGS. Yeah. So, like, thank you for the kind words, guys. I mean, we hope, to further entertain you for the years to come. And Monster Plays, throw in some shade in the chat with Rydal Lamb.
It's probably their best. That's probably their hook, right? The scary games.
Their clips are priceless. Yeah. And Monster Plays, throwing some shade in the chat with Rydal Lamb.
Mary had a idle lamb, idle lamb.
Oh my god, I can't believe it's one of those. Right. You know the problem. Okay, just context. Yesterday, someone in chat won loot boxes and what's this? And it sucks, and the name was Riddle Lamb spelled perfectly, but me and myself and I decided to pronounce it Riddle Lamb won the prize. God,
Idle lamb, idle lamb.
oh my god.
Oh man, you know what, DZ?
I should sub to Riddle Lamb.
You should. You know what, DZ? Let's give away some socks during the after show. Thank you everyone for tuning in to this episode of GameByte. If you're listening to the audio only version, if you're listening to the podcast on VOD, try to tune in live, because sometimes maybe once out of every year we'll be giving away socks. We'll be giving away some Pachimari socks. You might just get lucky and win the lottery. But thank you everyone for tuning in. We will see you next year. Same Byte time, same Byte channel. Till then, stay tuned for the after show. Get off your butts and quit stalling. That's it for us on GameByte for 2019. We'll see you guys next year. Bye, everybody. Bye.